I had a purpose before everybody had an opinion.
The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out.
You want Philly?
Chase Utley, you are the man.
You come out backyard and you try to start something, you always get your butt kicked.
The prayers have been answered.
How about those Eagles, baby?
And Rio Muto can run for days.
Can you feel what's about to happen on this field, man?
A perfect game. Roy Halladay has thrown the second perfect game in Philadelphia Phillies history.
All right, we are back here today with another episode of Philly Talk, and this one might be a bit shorter, but still some things to talk about. First off, as you can see from the thumbnail, we got to talk about Bryce Harper. This guy, I mean, what more can you say about him? Just the way he's been playing, especially as of recently, he's been just doing insane. He's batting .303 on the season, 401 on base percentage, 577 slugging, 977 OPS, 19 homers on the year, 56 RBIs. Just incredible work from him. You look at the last couple of games too, like you look at his, obviously yesterday he had that 3-run homer against Detroit, 5 RBIs on the day. The game against Arizona, a home run, 3 RBIs. Gotta talk about Nick Castellanos' game against, was it Arizona? Yeah, it was Arizona, where he had 5 RBIs on the day. That was crazy. A home run, 5 RBIs. Hoping to see, more of that continue. He's still trying to get out of that slump that we've been talking about pretty much the whole season, where it's like it's up and down so far with Castellanos. It's very much kind of reminiscent of like 2022, hoping to see a bit more of last year's Castellanos coming back. Schwarber's been playing amazing, 17 home runs, 49 RBIs on the season. Bohm, 9 home runs, 64 RBIs on the season. Bohm has been doing really well. More recently getting those home run numbers up, because as we know, there was quite the disparity between the amount of home runs he had and the amount of RBIs he had, which you will absolutely take all of those RBIs he's getting, even if it's like they're not coming through home runs, because that's been sort of the Achilles for the Phillies these past couple of seasons. Is hey, they're going for the long ball so much that they're forgetting that they don't need it all the time. Sure, you'll take a home run, especially with guys on base, but sometimes you'll take a single that drives a guy in just to get some runs on the board. But yesterday against Detroit, he had a home run, 3 RBIs. In the Arizona game, he had a home run. So he's heating up as well. Pretty decent stuff from the entire team overall. Trey has been doing pretty well since his return as well. Has a bit of a hitting streak going, at least in his past 5 games. He's got a hit or more in his past 5 games. 2 hits against Arizona in the loss. Had 3 RBIs that game. But he's been doing pretty well, especially getting on base. And being, getting on base, getting in scoring position so that other guys can drive him in, which is, his role in that 2 spot. But going back to Harper, of course, the big thing obviously is, he's getting himself an MVP conversation. And I know it's something that my dad and I will talk about after this episode later today. The main question that I've been seeing a lot of people posing that I kind of like, I really like that they're posing, because it creates good discussion. Obviously, you're comparing a full season to only, what are we at now? How many games has he played? Let's see, 73 games. If he continues the pace he's on, will this season be better than his MVP season in 2021, I believe? Yeah, 2021. And I thought that was an interesting conversation, because it is interesting to think about, that MVP season of his and how this one might shape up in comparison. You look at that 2021 season, he played 141 games. He played 141 games. He had 42 doubles, 35 home runs, 84 RBIs, 13 stolen bases, 100 walks that season, 309 batting average, 429 on base, 615 slugging, and a 144 OPS, 179 OPS plus. Finished first in MVP, got the Silver Slugger as well. Pretty impressive, but with the way he's hitting the ball, people are wondering, just how many homers is he gonna hit this season? Because I mean, MVP season he only hit 35, so you really wonder. I mean, he's basically batting almost the same so far. Lower on base and slugging, obviously he was pretty insane, but again, comparing 73 games so far to 141, but like that's the discussion people are having. They're wondering, just how good is this season from Bryce Harper going to be? I'm excited to see it. And then of course the main conversation to have, pitching staff. Nola did pretty well. He had that rough outing in Boston, but he came back with a decent outing in San Diego. They got the win for him, obviously. And then Detroit yesterday was phenomenal. 7 innings, only let up 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. Really good stuff from him. 3.39 ERA on the season. Zach, of course, is just doing well. In that Arizona game, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. Real good stuff from him. He's down to a 2.73. And then Ranger, of course. I mean, do we expect anything else from Ranger? 6 innings, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts. He is down to a 1.75 ERA on the season. And then Sanchez just got an extension, 4-year extension. He goes out first game after 7 innings, no earned runs, 4 strikeouts. Real good stuff from him. And then, of course, the big news. Taijuan Walker back on the 15-day IL with a blister, I think is what they're saying, or like something about his thumb. Was not good in his last outing against Arizona. 4 innings, let up 4 home runs, or not 4 home runs, 4 earned runs, with 3 of them being home runs. Not great. I don't think it's not today's game. It's tomorrow's game, I believe, that Spencer Turnbull will be coming back to start, which people are like happy about. It'll be interesting to see. He's kind of struggled a bit coming out the bullpen, so we'll see what happens when he comes back into that starter role. Hopefully he does pretty well, and obviously the main concern is injury and how many innings is he going to be able to pitch, and do you want to conserve those innings for later in the season? You kind of don't want to see like how like Michael Lorenzen played out, where you pitched a guy a ton and by the end he's gassed, he's not able to throw as well, but it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Bullpen doing well, Hoffman 1.1 ERA, has been doing pretty well. Obviously let up an earned run in the Arizona series, but I mean, that's the biggest thing, is that a lot of our bullpen hasn't gotten a lot of play recently, just because of the whole starters going so deep. Jose Alvarado did pretty well in his last outing, 2 strikeouts, down to a 3.09 ERA. Matt Strom, of course, 0.89 ERA on the season is crazy. He's been doing pretty well. Sir Anthony, let me see, what was his past 5 games? Sir Anthony doing well past couple of games. Arizona gave up an earned run, but he's been doing pretty well to try and lower his ERA. Gregory Soto, just like Taijuan Walker, gonna be the death of us Philly fans, because we just see him come in and it's always a struggle. But he's done decent his past couple outings. Like the Arizona game, I mean, they were up crazy. He came in, got a strikeout. But for the most part, team has been doing pretty well. Ryan Kirkgreen done pretty well. Pitching staff is doing pretty well, but obviously improvements can be made, obviously, with the whole Taijuan Walker thing, and then some of the pieces in the bullpen maybe wanting to strengthen things up. We just called up Michael Mercado because Taijuan Walker went on the IL. I mean, he came in for an inning, got a strikeout, left with no hits allowed, no runs allowed, nothing. So hoping to see more out of him. It was funny to see him get that strikeout, and immediately fans being like, he's already better than Taijuan Walker. But looking at just this team overall, doing really well right now. Kind of up and down since the last time we talked, because I mean, there was that where did we leave off? I kind of forgot. Sorry. We left off right after right after the Padres series, I believe, right? We talked about them. Wait, did we talk about them struggling in Baltimore? Yeah, I think we did. But the Arizona series was good. Won that series. Looking good so far in Detroit. Today's game is definitely a must-watch one. Simply because you have Ranger and Tariq Skubal on the mound. Two lefties. Two often debated who is the best lefty in the NL and baseball overall. You got Ranger 10-1, 1.75 ERA. Skubal 8-3, 2.5 ERA. It's gonna be a good one, hoping the Phils can get to Skubal early, but it's definitely gonna be quite the pitchy duel. Hopefully. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I apologize, but this team doing pretty well, and I guess just the biggest question mark is trades. Like how we've just been talking as we're building up to July and to that trade deadline. It's like, what's gonna happen trade wise? What is this team gonna do? I really don't know what they're gonna do, because it's like the more we get closer to this trade deadline, the more I'm hearing different things. About like the Phillies don't really want a guy like Robert, or like they don't think Robert would be a good investment of assets. You've heard people talking about Kyle Tucker, but it's like, are the Astros really gonna want to trade not only him, but like, are they gonna be sellers at the deadline? They've been sort of making a comeback like in their division, but it's like, it's gonna be a question mark whether they sell or buy at the deadline. So I don't really know what they're gonna do there pitching wise. I mean, they can't really do much as we keep talking about. It's like, I just don't believe they're gonna find a way to get Taijuan Walker off the books. Like, I don't think there's any team that's gonna be willing to trade for this guy, even with his value so low. Like, I don't know if any team would trade for that contract specifically. The Phillies would probably have to eat a ton of that contract to get someone to trade for him. Same thing with Gregory Soto. It's like, if you want to trade him to get better bullpen options, I don't know what you're expecting to get out of him. And then, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Still waiting for JT to get back. Obviously, that's the big one, to get back into this lineup. Catchers, both of them have been filling in nicely. I mean, we saw him in that San Diego game. Marchand had 4 hits. In that Arizona game, he had a double. He's been doing pretty well so far. I mean, in the games that he's played, the pitchers have been doing pretty decent as well. Just a lot of interesting questions about this team, and like the future. I mean, they're doing really well. You got a ton of guys that are hoping to get to that All-Star game. I know Bryce is leading. I think Alec Boehm is leading, or second. I forget. This whole pitching staff could basically be All-Stars, I mean, seriously. Nola, Wheeler, Ranger, Sanchez, like the way they're all pitching, you could easily put them all in the All-Star game. Just kind of like how we've been reiterating these past couple episodes. Just interested to see the future of this team. Interested to see, what trades happen. Whoever they trade for has to hit well against lefties, because, as much as we love him, Brandon Marsh kind of has been struggling with lefties, especially recently. And so has Pache, and so has Merrifield, and I think even Castellanos. So it's like, whoever we go for in that outfield position, they need to really do well against lefties, and like my dad said, hopefully with Marsh getting more playing time, like everyday playing time, especially against lefties, hopefully he'll be able to do pretty well. I don't think they've released a lineup card today, so I don't know if he's starting against Tariq Skubal, but that is the main thing that you want to see, is just whoever they go and trade for, hope they're really good against lefties. And just overall, excited for this team, excited to get to that trade deadline, and see what trades they make. And it's crazy, man. We're getting towards the end of June. I just barely realized that looking at the date right now. We're getting towards the end of June already, getting towards the start of July. It's going to be interesting. We have the rest of the Detroit series. We got Miami for 4 games. And Chicago and Atlanta. The Atlanta series will be interesting. Oh man, look at that July, man. You got Atlanta, LA, Oakland, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Cleveland, New York. That will be a real interesting month. Can't wait to watch a lot of those series. But yeah, just super interested to see what changes this team makes, but also just, you know, the same as always as it's been this entire season. Just super excited to watch this team. It's fun watching even through the ups and downs. And man, just can't wait to see what the future holds.